Hello, and welcome to Plat Chat. This is a podcast that's about Overwatch.
I'm always
and
amazed
about
with
Overwatch
Matt's
League.
hosting skills.
Huh?
I'm always amazed with your hosting skills.
I mean, I wasn't really listening to you. I was tuning you out. I've already listened to you enough the last 2 days. But welcome. Whoa. We have a lot of stuff to go over today. Not really, because we just watched the same teams play for the last 5 weeks. But we got hero pools now.
Yeah.
Pog
Thanks,
champs.
thanks both of you on the ends
You guys
of the.
kind of fucked up.
I was listening back to the companion
What do you mean?
stream, and you were like, "Oh, it's not that bad right on this band." So now you're actually targeting me during the podcast.
Well,
when I saw you live, say I did.
It's not that
the
bad,
best.
but what I'm doing is I'm trying to dig into your own insecurities about picking right now.
Oh, I'm
I
not-
saw
I'm
that
not
you
inse-
weren't
no.
happy about it.
Yeah,
I
comedic
was
effect.
happy with my selections.
No, you were the worst.
I couldn't think of two. Like, I woke up this morning. I thought about it. I was like, all I play is Hitscan heroes, and out of all of the heroes I could have removed,
You just want to look the legs.
with May there,
It's only for Overwatch League, though.
huh?
It's only for the Overwatch League.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I mean-
Plebs rejoice. You guys can still
Yeah.
play McCree and Widowmaker.
I mean the public. I mean
Moira's
they
gonna
don't
get banned
yeah,
at
the
the
public.
DPSQ.
The public. They want McCree and Widow gone, right? Anybody who can aim is.
You
like,
just want to lock the legs. That's the only reason you get
bring
rid of
back
McCree and Widow.
legs.
I mean,
Bring
the
back
legs ain't coming
76.
You gotta give 76 like a jumping vault kick or something.
An AK. Give him an AK.
double tap shift, and he just goes.
Give him a Krieg. Give him a Krieg. Krieg and a Molly. A Krieg and a Molly.
Okay.
Genius
PSG and a
idea.
Molly, and he'll be fine.
I actually loved watching hero pools and just seeing the tombola style
Yeah.
raffle
Yeah.
that
It was funny.
that was part of it.
Yeah.
It was so entertaining to watch. It was actually the best TV that Overwatch League has ever produced. It was so fun.
I mean,
Oh, you're
don't-
welcome.
Don't slander the show like that.
was
I
pretty
mean, come on,
good.
we've
It
had
wa-
better.
but
we've
it was really.
We've had better moments than that. I mean, you're saying the best moment we've ever had in terms of productions, the tumble machine with the folded up cards. Come on, Josh.
I mean, it was just raw entertainment.
this is the best thing we've done.
Yeah, but
We've
it
done
was-
look, well, this is good. We've done better than this.
But it was so just you
was fun.
wanted certain things to come out of it, and because it was random, and because you could attach a name to the person that fucked up or did it well, and so
It was random.
It was
Like,
quite
how can
funny,
you?
though.
How
It
can
was
you tell me
random,
it's
but
random?
you could always blame the person.
Exactly.
Like when I picked Team USA versus South Korea when we were in Denver.
Oh, yeah.
Which is actually hilarious because before I started picking them, I literally said, "Watch this! I'm going to pick USA versus South Korea," and I did. This I was not. I was not as keen on not
What
picking
was that,
May.
McCree? Oh,
No,
was
that's
the
Reinhardt.
Reinhardt.
That's
Yeah,
Jonathan
that's
picking
the
Reinhardt. So,
Reinhardt.
Johnny, why were you so distraught at picking Reinhardt?
'Cause that's his homie.
My homie, dude.
They've
It's
grown
just-
up together.
This is my main.
Do you play a lot of Ryan in ranked?
He plays
Yes.
Orisa only in ranked.
Did you just meet Johnny?
I'm more of a wrecking ball kind of guy these days. You know, like sliding all over, grappling hook.
Do you not
and,
think though that removing Reinhardt just changes things up the most? Like that's why I wanted it removed. If you remove Diva, everyone plays Reinhardt.
Yeah,
Reinhardt
but you
Orisa.
really wanted it removed?
Well, I mean,
I
I
think
was
it was
quite,
the best choice.
I was quite happy with Ryan Diva overall. So you know, if I removed Winston, I would have been happy because that way.
What? Nah.
But
No,
then
but-
that
no,
just
no,
kills all the dive creativity that we saw from teams like Houston and Toronto. and
Yeah,
stuff
but
like
I'd
that.
rather change up the meta by removing May or removing something
Oh,
else.
Yeah,
I
but that
mean-
wasn't in your hands. That was in the
Exactly,
hands
yeah.
of Matthew Morello, and he fucked up.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
some
just
people-
scared of Orisa.
Some people publicly want to watch the world burn. I'm the one lighting the
I
fire.
can't
on the
believe
backside.
you
What?
Widowmaker and
What went through your head here, Matt?
What went through my head? So after I picked the first one, I was like, "Fuck!" And then when I started, when I was like, "Oh man, maybe I'm not gonna pick May." And then knowing my luck, I was like, "Well, maybe I'll just keep picking the same hero over and over again
That
because
could
there's
happen.
8 like cards in there." And then when I gave Mitch the envelope and he didn't tell me I had to pick again, I had actually a really hard time finding the hole here with that blindfold is
You're not
actually very
experienced with
blind.
with the blindfolds.
No,
I mean,
no.
nothing new in the day of Matt Morello.
look,
finding a hole.
Look, I like to see, bro. Keep the lights on, keep the blindfolds off. Like,
I saw Mitch dip the card under the desk, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, he's switching it out for
swapped
a
it out.
May." And then he revealed McCree.
like
and I
okay,
was
so
like,
when
well,
McCree
fuck.
came off, I was like, "Oh fuck!" So I was like, "Who do I got?"
But
I think I got
I'm
Widow,
not-
Doomfist, and May in
Yeah.
there.
Not upset at McCree kind of being removed that much, but the real big one.
This is egregious.
Yeah.
May
I don't.
not coming out,
I don't
you know?
support what I'm about to do.
I
at
actually
all.
really wanted to get rid of Doomfist. I just dislike.
Why?
I just
What?
dislike Doomfist.
It's so fun to watch. And it gives the shit teams a chance. Like, it means that not everyone's playing the mirror.
Yeah.
The worst Overwatch
When did
metas
you
are when-
become that guy who praises?
Widowmaker. Oh,
Widowmaker.
my lord.
I thought you were elitist. I thought you just wanted the best teams
Look
to
how
dominate.
upset I am.
I think I'm with Josh here, though. Like,
Look at that face. Oh, he realizes he's
A part of
fucked
me
up.
just wanted to be like, fuck.
you should've-
Like when
you should've
Mitch was
dropped
like,
it,
how does
bro.
this affect the meta? The first thing that came to my head was, fuck. Yeah, I was like, oh, fuck.
Oh, look at his eyes.
Oh, my
I love
lord.
this.
You're like a gerbil. That's what you're reminding of. You look at look at the expression on your face.
Yeah.
You're like a little gerbil.
Hey, look, these desk days are long. I was there at like 7
not
a.m.
It
That
was
was
a long
pretty
day.
long.
That was a
Yeah.
long day.
Our call time was 8 a.m. and we were out by
Nothing
like
compared
6,
to what we
6:15.
used to do, bro.
No,
What?
it's, well, I mean, it's slightly shorter than what we used to
Nothing.
do, but it's
Nothing.
pretty comparable.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Back
Four
in my
matches a day.
day, we
Back
walked
in
up
my
the
day.
hill.
You can say that now, but when we get the 7 match days and we gotta be
Oh,
in
yeah.
there for 14,
Oh, no,
16
you're
hours.
boomed. You're boomed. That's next week, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I thought it was
Is
week
it
9.
Hold
Or
on.
is it week
Week
9?
nine.
Those 7
Wait.
match days will be great. You know why? Because I'm doing like 2.
They're gonna put you on that. You have to be there the entire time.
I don't know actually.
They should.
Yeah.
They should. They should be there the entire day.
That's kind of like.
But I know
illegal.
there are days because there are 2 domestic homestands.
Yeah.
So like there's the one on the East Coast and one on the West Coast.
definitely
And then there's
illegal.
like 7 matches in one day.
Don't think
So,
it is illegal.
It's illegal, I think, to keep people in rooms for that long.
They can leave the room.
It's illegal to keep people in rooms for that.
Bro, they don't even keep you chained up anymore. Like what?
Yeah, back in our day,
Back in our day, we were
had chain on
chained.
on the ankle and
We were locked
on
down.
the
That's
wrist.
true.
We
I
had to be
remember that.
ready.
We get
Yeah.
bread and water.
The-
you gotta dip the bread in the water
the
for
dungeons
flavor.
of the Blizzard Arena.
Bro, we had to be ready to be on the desk at any moment in case this guy fucked up.
Who?
You.
For what?
We were like, casters, they might mess up, so you guys go be on standby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember.
casters.
I was-
may-
we
I was
casters-
ready.
The emergency phone, we
Yeah.
kept it with us at all times. just in
Casters may
case.
mess up. Yep, as the guy who just rips his mic off the stand and can't figure out how to put it back
I
on.
put it back on.
Yeah, the
Don't-
casters.
don't-
Casters. We're worried about the casters.
Don't
fucking
start
it up.
sliding me. I put it back on.
What do we think the meta is going to be
I think it's
coming up?
gonna
Well,
be-
I was looking forward to like Josh or Johnny's opinion first, but you can go.
Go on, Brent. Go on,
I
Brent.
think it's going to be.
Calm down, Brent.
So, interestingly enough, there was a tweet from Sherford that said because Ryan's banned, he doesn't think that May
Yeah.
is going to be meta anymore. I don't know if I'd agree with that. Sherford's got a very interesting way of thinking about the meta. He
Yeah.
must be ambidextrous or something, you know? You know what they say
What
about
does that mean?
You know what they say about ambidextrous people, right?
What does that
Use
mean?
both
It's like
hands
it's like
equally
less
as
than
well.
1% of the population, I think. But like basically, your handiness depends on what side of your brain you use the most, right? Or
Yeah.
like that is dominant. So like, if you're left-handed, use your right hemisphere more, because it's opposite sides to your body.
What the fuck does this have to do about
But if you're
Surefour knowing the
ambidextrous,
meta?
bro, your brain's who the fuck knows how it works? You know what I mean?
What are you trying to
I
explain?
can't tell
here?
if you're praising him or flaming
I'm
him
praising it,
or
bro. He's got a very unique outlook on just the game and how it's supposed to be
Surefour, I
played.
apologize for what
Yeah,
was
yeah,
going
sorry
on
for
there.
this.
Yes.
But
I
you
mean,
must be ambidextrous. Hit me up.
Completely
Tell me.
unscientific.
You must
No,
be
it's not
it's
not
you must be
unscientific.
ambidextrous. Hit me up.
So the reason I looked this up was because
Okay.
I was scrolling through Bumble,
What is this?
looking for a date, you know.
Okay. And
And,
you found a neuroscientist.
no,
No, you went
one
on a date and
no,
she
he found
explained it.
Surefour.
What?
By the way, this is still about what's the next.
Yeah,
meta.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Yeah,
Okay?
okay.
I'm getting there. Let me just tell this anecdote. And I was scrolling through, and some woman said on her bio, it was like, "Oh, I ate my twin in the womb," and I was like,
Okay.
"Oh, that's kind of weird." But I think I read something about that, about how left-handed people, they say were twins, but they consumed the embryos of the twin before they were born.
I
Where
am
did you read
disgusted.
this? This is
This is
bollocks.
this is a theory.
So what tank do you
Theory
think is
about
going to be in
handiness.
play?
There's a theory about handiness. But then I looked more into it, and they realized that's not true.
Oh, you don't say.
And it's more linked to...
Kurt, do
I
we
don't
have
know
the
what-
ability to
what they
cut
think
Mike
it is.
3? Can we cut Mike 3,
But
please?
anyway, what I think the meta will be, I still think May will be played. May's pretty bonkers.
So you did
right?
all of this to say May will still be played.
Yeah, because the map pool hasn't changed. Correct me if I'm wrong. Does anyone here know?
I actually
The map order will change, like it does. We actually don't do a great job of covering that on
Yeah,
the
I don't
show
know when the
itself.
map pool changes.
So the map pool doesn't change for a bit, but the rotation of the game modes changes.
Yeah,
But
which
think-
doesn't really affect the meta.
Think of the maps. We're looking at them right now. Like
Well, I
King's
mean,
Row
in a way it
is
does,
just synonymous with May being played, right? I think you're still going to see it played. There might be scenarios now where teams play like Orisa compositions more.
But even Orisa
Fortify through Blizzard, etc. is pretty
Yep.
good.
Yeah.
So it's like.
But even Orisa compositions themselves, we saw in Stage 4 of 2019, we saw Orisa being played with Mei Hanzo.
Yeah.
'Cause-
That's what-
Honestly, we might just return to that.
That's what I thought when we did the post show. That was the first thing that popped into my head. It was like the ice fishing stuff with like Arisa, Hog, May, Hanzo, Batiste. Like they're all still there.
And even with Hanzo being nerfed, now that
That was
McCree is...
before the Orisa changes.
Yes, it was a bunch of a lot of changes.
Yeah, a
have
lot of
happened
changes.
since then,
But with McCree being unavailable, Hanzo is now the best shield breaker in the game. So it's not, even with Hanzo being nerfed, Hanzo could still be utilized in that same kind of way. And just the pick potential is good. And people have still been playing a little bit of him on like Hanamura in particular.
I actually think now that I've had time and not like just been put on the spot, that if had Lucio been gone instead of Moira, that's
God.
probably where we would have ended up.
That would have
But
been
with
worst case
Lucio
scenario.
still in play, I think you could see like some Winston Diva, Sombra, Doomfist
Oh, dude, that's right. Moira got
type of
removed.
play.
Yes, Moira got...
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Moira
yeah.
got removed.
We
That changes things.
were praying. We were
Yes.
absolutely begging for Moira to get removed when Custer was selecting it, and he was honestly. We were just the chat was when. Oh my god, Matt, you should have seen the chat when you were selecting stuff as well. They're all just spamming May bless RNG, but. This is what I'm talking about, like pure entertainment. Like Custer absolutely pulled it out of the bag because I think the worst thing to be banned could have been Lucio because then it just means you're playing bunker the entire time. Just Anna Brig bunker.
Jeff's gonna start ringing on the phone and be like, "So I saw you guys. I saw multiple thousands of people celebrating the removal of Moira. Can you explain what that's all about?"
Yeah. Well, we would have. You cannot imagine how excited we would have been if May had been removed.
I mean, we would have exploded, bro.
Dude, I would have gained like 8 followers on Twitter. Like, everyone would have been going crazy.
Did you see how devastated we were? I mean, actually, like the devastation was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like,
This was it here. Look at the bless RNGs in the corner. Look at that.
my lord, I didn't
Look
see
at
the
this.
chat.
The chat was exploding with.
I mean, it's
May
one
bless
man
RNG.
spam. Feels bad.
No.
It's just the mods.
Not Doom.
Yeah, because if Doom gets banned,
I
then-
look like I've aged 50 years.
Yeah, it was just so much tension.
Here's the point where I think Widowmaker.
I think this is where you
Look.
pick McCree. Actually, I think this is the Widow McCree incoming. That's what someone
Someone said.
predicted it.
I
Yeah,
bet
Oh,
you
yeah,
that was,
you- this
I
is
bet
where
you
you
that was
pulled it
Scott
out.
Mercer, dude, in the chat who said Widow McCree.
Mercer?
I think you could see Farah being played a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like Farah Tracer, we've already seen being played a little bit on Ilios.
You really think so?
Well, I think it's possible.
Well, what is
Because my
I'm
initial
intrigued-
reaction to May being banned was like, oh my god, this is McCree Widowmaker being banned is, oh my god, this is dreadful. But with the only thing that is bad now for Farah is Diva being in the game. So
Yeah.
if you
true.
can run her alongside, like if you run Farah Tracer and you can
Well, wait, what
try
about
and-
76? He's still in.
Oh my god.
So Diva's
I don't
good,
think the Lex is that good.
against Farah, but I'm also curious to see if we'll see a lot more Sombra, because I think
Yes,
like
yeah.
okay, like you're playing Ilios Lighthouse or whatever. Farah is pretty far up; you can't really reach her. But on a lot of other maps, Sombra is pretty effective at shutting down Farah compositions.
Yeah.
And so I'm intrigued to see if we're gonna see
I
more
always
Sombra.
just-
And then you pretty much throw in
I
Doomfist
always-
and you get a dive comp going.
Yeah.
So
Matt, hold up.
Or Sombra Tracer too.
What?
no, I don't think Tracer's gonna see
No?
a ton.
You don't see Tracer?
Maybe, bro.
Maybe,
Here's
I
the
don't
thing.
know.
With
I
McCree
think so.
being banned now, I think you're going to see Sombra, Doomfist, Tracer, these kind of picks open up.
Yeah.
And it's
We
not just
already
in the
saw a
stalling
little bit of them.
scenarios. Right. But that's when the maps like suit it, when they want to go in with like
Yeah.
EMP dive comps or whatever. But I think we might see it a lot more now, and it's probably going to open up. But I'm pessimistic in thinking that we're just going to see Orisa comps.
Well, the big question is, can a dive composition with like Sombra Doom or Fire Tracer or something, can it beat the ice fishing kind
okay.
of stuff?
I was
So
just
here's
trying
a
to look
thought.
at
Here's
the
a thought.
maps, but the maps aren't on the app. But like, for argument's sake, you had like a Horizon come in. Like, could you see like a
Yeah.
Bastion
Here's a
bunker
thought.
play again, like with Batiste?
Here's a thought. Do you think there's a possibility we see a lot more of what Atlanta Reign played against Toronto, where they played the Torbjorn composition and they played the Baptiste, and I think they played Lucio with that?
Yeah,
Because then you kind
they
of
played Brig on defense and Lucio when they needed to rotate.
Yeah, it depends on the map, but I could see some Torb being played to shut down dive.
Well,
unironically.
Yeah, unironically, yeah. It was so effective. Atlanta looked great that first day when they were playing those compositions.
Yeah. But I mean, it was a bit of a scam. I mean, it's
It's a bit of
well,
a scam.
it's not meta. You know, it wasn't meta. It was, you know,
it was like tailored for
yeah,
Toronto.
There's a little
exactly.
BS,
Yeah,
little-
so.
But you can
We'll
tailor
see.
that against any team that tries to run dive into you.
Yeah.
Now, right?
Like, why don't you
mean,
fucking
Doom
coach
is-
then? Huh?
Huh?
Why don't you coach?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. You got
Yeah.
a contract for me.
No.
Doom is like fairly horrible against Torbjorn. Like especially if Torbjorn's protected by some shields, like Doom.
Well, like the
first
turret.
Torbjorn.
Like there's a turret,
Yeah,
then
like,
you're
exactly,
Doom.
they're
Like
Horrible. But I just think McCree is kind of almost with his flashbang. He's like a soft counter to a lot of these picks,
well,
and it just gets opened up massively now.
but if you end up with the Torbjorn, then you think Hanzo probably comes out to just break shields,
break
and just
shields,
spam
yeah.
and whatnot, and then you're now in an Orisa.
Welcome
Maybe
to
you have
pro player
Hog
math.
and whatnot.
this is how pro players think
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
the time
exactly,
you're in
yeah.
scrims. It's just math.
The
I know
other-
because we should be pros, but we're held back by the game.
I don't know about you.
The
I'm
ranking
sorry,
system of the
man.
game's trying to keep me,
Bro,
Bren, and Josh
I've
down.
been smurfing, fam. I've been smurfing. I did my placements with this guy. Lost 4 games
That's
after as well.
the key. You do
We
your
lost
placements
9
in Josh, you get
9
gold
games in a
players.
row.
Gold players.
I placed the lowest I've ever placed in the history of the game. I was at like 2,600 for DPS.
Yeah.
I've won like 25 games in a row.
None of those were
Well,
playing with
what do
me.
you rank
I'm
a
now?
solo
After,
queue.
after you win 25 games in a row, what do you rank now?
2,925.
Oh, okay.
You're so garbage. It's unreal.
Bro, when
No, I've been playing with,
fuck you, kid. Listen, when I
Whoa.
wrap up, I'm gonna start solo queuing.
When I ramp up,
Jesus,
okay. It's
Jeff.
okay.
Sorry, Jeff. That's Jeff's special
this is
phone.
Jeff's, when we need to call Jeff, that's
Good
the phone
God.
we use.
It's okay.
I think another big question, though, to
Tilted.
drag this back to topic and get away from Bren's
What are we
ranked
talking about?
experiences.
The meta.
All right, the
YouTube
meta.
comment, please.
Oh.
Be nice to Bren.
No,
Say some nice
before
things.
you even
Torbjorn
get
also,
begun here.
Torbjorn also would be like Farah Hanzo, like Farah
I
just
don't-
spamming rockets from a distance.
So,
like,
I
What?
don't think we will see Farah because
Okay.
of Hanzo as well, which is going to be weird. But the thing is,
Really?
because if we're opening this up to more Orisa comps, naturally you're more inclined to run maybe Batiste on like maps where you're defending and stuff. Like I could see it on Control where you're probably not going to be running. I mean, there's not
Yeah.
really many scenarios where
I
you
think,
would. be
And also, the
running.
maps are just smaller. It's less
But
time to be able to initiate.
like Hanzo's still pretty good at dealing with it. Diva's still in the game.
Diva,
Anna pretty is good dealing
Even
with
May,
the-
bro.
May with no
yeah.
fall off is actually still good. You can only get value out of Farah depending on what your enemy team is playing. Like that's still going to be the case.
Yeah.
My question, though, my big fundamental question is: teams have 4 days to scrim this. If there's no clear winner, we're going to see teams trying a lot of different
Well,
stuff.
But teams
no,
are
I-
being-
No, I think
I don't
I think
know, a
that's
lot
where
of
you'll
stuff.
see teams just default back to what we saw like Toronto do with like Sombra, Winston, Diva, like those types of.
I
comps.
think
But then
so too.
If Atlanta play what they were playing, and then teams, I think we'll see adaptation throughout the
point
weekend.
of this system.
That's why I'm saying I think it's good. I think there's no clear, obvious winner in terms of the meta.
Brent's
so I think
taking
it's a
his-
good meta.
Brent's taking his mic off again. He's ready to talk.
Teams have been practicing with hero bans
Yes.
already.
But not
Specific
these ones.
But I
Well,
don't think anyone's played with
random
McCree
ones.
No, they've
Widow
been doing
band.
random ones.
why not?
But
Because
Yeah.
that specific thing of because nobody I think was expecting McCree Widowmaker to get to 10%.
They're expecting. They probably definitely practice comps
without May,
without May and without McCree,
Right, but May is still allowed.
and probably without Reinhardt as well. They've just been playing everything, Josh. All I'm saying is, come into a bit of positivity, huh, kiddo?
I am positive. I'm saying that
he actually was. the one
I
who
was saying
being
it's positive that teams don't know what to play because then they'll play a bunch of different stuff. If
So-
teams have been practicing everything and they have a solution,
Johnny, if
it's
you
going to
were-
be boring as fuck.
If you were a coach,
like
Johnny, what would your team be playing this weekend?
Thank you for that question. I can actually provide some insight. I think a lot of
Yeah.
teams would just default to what they feel the most comfortable with, and I think in this case it's going to be a lot of aggressive comps. I actually think it could be the case that an Orisa Diva comp is the best one, but I don't think teams will necessarily practice that enough to become good enough at the composition to get the wins. So I think people are just going to default to a lot of Winston, Diva, Sombra, Doomfist comps because that's what they know. And that's
So
what
here's also something that I think will be interesting going into
Look at
this,
the numbers.
This weekend is you take a look at some of the numbers.
What the hell
So-
is going on?
Can I have one question?
this was
yeah.
this was the
Okay.
last 2 weeks.
One question. Few people on Reddit mentioned this. I mean, it's Reddit, so take it with a grain of
So it
salt.
could be the same
What-
person on
So I'm
multiple
asking you,
accounts.
what do you think of the idea of putting votes in the drum thing, depending on their hero
Proportional to
usage?
their play
proportional
time.
to their hero usage.
I
I
think
think
that's a great
that's-
idea.
I also think it's very easy for teams to game the system then in terms of hero playtime and whatnot to definitely
Yeah.
secure
Is
the
anyone
heroes.
going to be gaming
are
the
gone,
system,
but-
though? Let's be real.
I don't think anyone would game the system because you can't guarantee that you've won
Yeah.
until
Yeah,
you've won.
That's true.
So
Like, it's very difficult. And, then
And
you're
there's a random
sacrificing
element anyway.
games.
But you don't
Yeah.
know how difficult it is. You've never done it.
Like, no one's going to throw games to try and...
I don't think so either.
no, it's
Yeah.
not throw games. It's just don't play certain heroes.
Right, but it's almost thrown to a degree. Like, you're playing suboptimal
you're sandbagging.
compositions.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's the definition of sandbagging.
I mean,
You're
and we've already
deliberately
seen
not
teams
trying.
do that. So
I mean, I could see a team like Chengdu maybe be like, they feel like they have to play something other than Wrecking Ball because they know that Wrecking Ball is going to get removed at some point, and they
Well,
have to be
So
adapted
I
to
want
other
to
stuff.
talk about this coming up next. I think this is interesting. That who will be adjusting the best, because this is something I wanted to bring up. This will, I think, will be the first weekend where we see if actual like home advantage pays off, because we're going to Washington. Washington doesn't play week 4, so they didn't have to spend today, Monday, traveling.
Oh, yeah.
So they have
Yeah,
their
yeah.
own practice facility
So-
where they can be playing these heroes right away.
I'm glad
and
you brought this
every
up.
other team going played this weekend. So
Right.
they have to travel to whatever location,
So they lose a
then
day
maybe
of scrims.
practice. So they lose a day of scrims. And also, if you're Washington, you obviously were watching the whole day. You're able to have an idea
Let
of
me
what's
bring
going
up-
on.
What?
And Bren's got an
He's got
Excel
a spreadsheet.
here.
Let me bring up my
I've never
It's
seen
his-
you use a
it's his
spreadsheet
ranking.
before ever.
It's his power
it's
ranking
my
spreadsheet.
power rankings, where I rated teams based on how well I think they do in hero pools.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
What was that based on? Just their flexibility or
Just the
something?
gut.
He's trying to
How
format
do
the
you
document.
How do I sort?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You have to make an
oh.
equation, Bren.
No. There we go. Got it.
Okay. What is
Okay.
this?
Shock number 1.
All right.
Thank you. They're
I
not
don't think
playing.
they even play this
They're
weekend,
not playing
do they?
this weekend.
Guangzhou, Shanghai,
They're-
Seoul.
They're not
Okay,
playing.
they-
this
none
None
of
of
those
these teams are
playing.
playing. Who cares?
MYXL.
They play.
Who do they play against? Okay,
They-
here we
they
go.
Play the Justice.
That's going to be an interesting one, actually, because I think New York should be great in those kind of methods.
it
And Corey's been directly nerfed.
And
Is it
also,
mandatory as well if you're an East Coast team and you have a homestand, you get to play Boston? Like, is that a mandatory thing now?
but-
Like, you get a sacrifice
Can we
poor
play?
Boston?
Can we play?
Sacrifice Boston.
Can we play you every week?
The biggest
Can
winners,
we play Boston every week?
The biggest winners, though, I've got lowest almost in my thing here. I
Right.
think from this particular hero pool, I think it's going to be London and Washington who are going to be. Oh wait, London don't play.
London don't play, but
But
let's talk about
Washington
Washington then,
do.
because
Yeah.
Washington do have the advantage of being able to scrim a ton,
Yes.
like
Not
you're
only
saying.
did he get more scrum time, but Corey can play as Hanzo.
He can play Hanzo, but he can't play the McCree and the Widow.
But they
which
can
he's
play
excellent
something
at.
like
play Tracer?
like they can play like Tracer Doom
Yeah.
with him and Stratus or
I'm
something
not
like that.
convinced that Corey's Tracer is going to be as good as the other elites in the Overwatch League. I know that everyone says it's really good, but is it like he's playing against Sabi Olby? Is it Sabi Olby good? Like, I don't think it is.
I would. The biggest boon for Washington Justice is Roar playing Winston. I think
Yeah.
because Roar's Reinhardt has been kind of iffy, while Elevote can continue playing the diva. So
Yeah.
I think Roar on Winston could be a big factor.
Tell you what,
Stratus can only really play the Doom effectively, though, I think. Like, I wouldn't want to
I
see-
honestly don't know. I haven't seen enough of Stratus to know how
Yeah.
good his hero pool is.
Yeah.
So-
I think that's
do we
fair,
see?
but-
We could actually see some really nice stuff from NYXL with like, "Who are you?" on like
Yeah,
the Doom.
I mean,
Yes.
NYXL is high up on
Oh, who are you?
Sabi will
God.
be on like Sombra and then Mono on the Winston.
That game's
like,
going to be so good.
Yeah, you could see some sick shit from New
I
York.
got some inside info
Okay.
from my scouting earlier today.
Okay.
I was playing some ranked in
Oh,
between. I was
fucking
playing
Christ.
the aim custom game,
Yeah,
Sure.
and I came across Dante.
Oh, yeah. Real Dante.
yeah, real Dante.
Was the real Dante? bro.
Confirmed
Yeah.
It was Dante. Okay.
It was a Dante from the Netherlands
And-
from
and,
Let me tell
2016.
you what he
And-
was.
and
Let me
what
tell you what he was
happened?
practicing.
Oh, yeah.
Well-
What was he practicing?
Tracer
Oh, yeah. And what a surprise.
and Anna.
Fuck off! You are such a. I
Yeah, he was practicing Anna, bro.
dude, where's
Get his mic out of there.
I'm telling you.
get Jack down here.
So what you
Get
think?
Scott down
You
here.
think that the Houston Outlaws have decided after their first historic win of 2020 to take
Don't ask
Raucus
him a
out of the
question.
lineup?
No, you can't ask him questions. He doesn't have a mic.
And
he
the-
needs his mic back.
And
He
you
needs his
think
mic
that
back.
Raucus and Repel, instead of doing this weird fancy dance where they all switch over, Dante is now going to be playing Ana?
I mean, why not? Shocker doing it.
Oh my
That's
God.
not an argument, bro.
just-
That's not a good
just-
argument.
Why do I
it's,
do
it's
this
a bit
podcast?
of hyperbole, but
You said it correctly.
I did. It's a bit of
Hyperbole.
It's a bit of hyperbole. It's a bit of
hyperbole.
hyperbole. But I think I don't know where I'm going with this.
Yeah,
but
you're
You never
talking
know
nonsense.
where you're going with it.
actually just talking nonsense.
I want to talk about Paris. I actually want to
Exion,
ask this
no
question.
McCree.
Exi has
Exi.
effectively been totally fucked.
Yeah.
Ben Best has been totally fucked.
Yep.
No Smite? The Winston?
We could see No Smites Winston,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's great. But so my big question with Paris has always been: is it the meta is really good for them, or is their coaching staff actually just boosting these people up like enormous values? I think their coaching staff is really, really good, and Paris themselves have been like a top 5 team, inarguably so far over 2020.
I think
but
they'll still be fine.
I think
Who do
they'll
we
be
see on DPS instead of
okay.
XE? It's not going to be soon.
Soon?
Why not?
Yeah. it would
Well,
be
isn't
soon.
he also kind of ruined by McCree Widow?
I think if you play Tracer, you definitely play soon.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
I
well,
think any
I mean
damage
that's
dealer
very
can play like
it's very
a-
small hero pool.
Exi plays Hanzo, but he doesn't play it to like an amazing level.
Can he play Sombra?
I don't know.
Nico Carey, 2020.
Yeah, I mean, what does that team do though? Do they
I don't know.
probably rely on a
They're
lot
ruined.
more May because Nico
Put
is so
Gray
good
on
May.
DPS. He can play Sombra. Gray Sombra's pretty good.
Who do they play against this
Gray
week?
Sombra. I'm calling it now, dude.
Yeah, we can
Gray Sombra.
bring the schedule back up.
That's old.
Yeah. Who did Paris play against? Oh, Houston and Philly. See,
well.
that match against Philadelphia is so important,
it's a
though.
loss.
So what the hell does
They're not
Carpe
going to
play?
win that.
If that was on
Come
the previous
Come off
meta,
it. They're not
if
gonna
that was
win
on the previous meta, I think the Paris would be pretty close to Fusion.
Well,
it would be
it's
a much
not.
closer game than I think it will be.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, now that
It's
you
not
got,
the same meta, Josh.
No, it's not.
Move on.
dude,
Ooh.
Philly, I think is set in a great spot, right? Sato can play Winston. You have
Sato stonks, dude.
Fury or
what the f-
Poco, like flip a coin.
Yeah.
He was actually
still
just
got-
cummed.
Yeah, dude, I'm
Underneath the table,
so
bro.
excited for Sato.
What's
And then
wrong
what? You
It's a
got
redemption story.
yeah, and then you have Carpe, EQO,
Yeah.
Ivy.
Ivy, if you wanna
like-
play him.
Philly are in a good spot.
Hisu, if you want to play him as well.
Yeah.
Philly are in a
Like, why
good
not?
spot, man.
Yeah, you
what,
can do whatever.
What do you think about Boston?
I think they
Can we
will
not?
continue
Don't
to
we have
be
a limited
screwed.
time on this podcast?
Well, the one thing that these guys did is they hyped every clip of Bren is either "Oh my word" or "Jerry." Like there's only two things.
Jerry did fucking own in that Houston game, but I don't know. The Boston Uprising, I think, are just kind of screwed. The Boston Uprising is like they're playing against Washington Justice, and then don't they play against somebody else as well? I don't even know.
Do you think they're really screwed against Washington?
Uh,
Sorry, I'm not saying that Boston will. I'm just asking the question for the
What?
sake of discussion. Do you think there is there is a chance that Boston?
No, I think because Washington has the extra edge of playing at home, having the extra day of practice, not having the
True.
travel.
True.
Like there is so much working here in Washington's favor
True.
Yeah.
that if they lose to Boston, that is like a really, really bad.
I
loss.
tried to open up for like a conversation, but it's really just over. So let's just move on. Like, there's no
If-
point.
Okay.
I don't know why I brought it up.
If Washington lose again,
yeah, if they lose again at their homestand, that's
Well, they're not sick anymore. I hope.
unacceptable.
yeah,
really,
I mean
isn't
it is actually unacceptable, especially against Boston. They're being handed a freebie,
yeah,
realistically.
you are giving them a win. Should we go through?
Yeah,
do
let's
you
go
have
through
predictions?
the predictions.
Yeah.
All
In a really shocking turn of events, I believe we all had the same predictions.
Wow.
I think we all decided. What did we decide in the first game? I think
Toronto, Florida
all
could be a close
That
one.
actually could be a close
Yeah.
one.
That'll
Could be
be
a
like
close
one of the closer games, I think.
See,
actually.
I'm not convinced. I think Florida might just play Fate next week if they're going to rely a lot more on Winston.
Karine's
And I
Winston
don't-
looked all right.
Yeah, it looked
Yeah.
all right, but it seemed like they put in Fate when they were trying to play Winston. And I don't know if
Yeah.
that's true or not, but I'm concerned. And so I don't know how to feel about that. Saya player's not
Yeah.
playing.
I think,
Saya player could play.
could see BQB, Sombra, and
Toronto.
BKB Sombra has not been
think-
great so far.
I think Toronto takes it just because we've seen Toronto play
dive. They
dive
played dive.
well,
Dude, I don't know.
and now being something that could be
Toronto
more
is
of
such
that.
a weird team to predict, though.
They're the hardest team
Because
to place right now.
This
But
is a
Houston played decent.
It's a both a weird. It's a weird.
actually
Yeah.
not that well, but
Yeah, I mean, I think Houston actually did play well.
Yeah, Houston played
they
really
stepped
well, I
up in
think.
their match against Toronto. But I think Toronto are a team that once you kind of clock what they're doing, it depends what the maps are. I got to pull up the maps for
You
this
can't.
match.
I already.
Yeah, you can't.
You can in the app.
I
Can you?
literally told you maybe I don't know 5 minutes ago. You couldn't.
Busan,
Oh, it
Junkertown
works.
Blizzard
Okay.
World.
All right. Well, fair enough.
So
Junkertown without Widowmaker.
Junkertown. What?
Without Widowmaker.
What do people do? Just play Bastion
Hanzo?
again?
Bastion.
It has to be Hanzo
dude.
May or something.
Bastion,
Yeah,
bro.
Hanzo May.
Yeah, maybe like Orisa, Diva, Hanzo May.
I actually
wow.
am leaning towards Florida. I predicted Toronto originally.
I'm taking Toronto.
Bastion
still.
comps, dude.
I kind of want to go Florida
Why?
Look, there's no
because these
predicting
maps
right
are
on
not
Junkertown.
really. Junkertown's way too
Busan
open to
you
be playing
can.
dive.
Busan you can.
Busan you can.
Blizzard World, maybe.
Blizzard World,
Blizzard
maybe
World you can play
point
a bit of
A.
it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, Blizzard World with no Widowmaker.
But I think the
Yeah.
maps kind of suit Florida in my mind.
Well, you don't even know what
no
they're gonna
no
play.
way we see like somebody.
I'm
like,
not going to bet Florida because I don't know who and what.
This is
they're gonna
actually
play.
an absurd
I'm
question.
just- I'm
which is
basing
going
it
to
off-
have a really simple. There's no way we see like Ash in some of these positions.
No, I don't
right?
think
No.
so. No,
It's too
no,
slow.
I saw people in the chat asking about that though, and
Right.
I just think that Ashe is never going to be played when you're playing into Diva because they just eat the dynamite and you do
Yeah.
no damage.
Okay, so we're all predicting
Hanzo
Toronto.
is just better.
Toronto.
Apart from
yeah.
I think it's a more reliable pick.
I'm changing my prediction to Florida.
Okay. That's allowed. That's allowed. The game's just still a few days away.
All right, show us the schedule. Next
Yeah,
match.
yeah,
next
I'm going to go for
game.
Toronto.
Boss, Paris, Houston.
Paris, Houston, Paris.
Paris.
Paris has looked. Paris
Yeah.
has looked big dog.
Paris have had all of their really important heroes made unavailable, and Houston Outlaws are going to play Sombra Doomfist.
What's the maps?
And
Where are the maps?
They
Now
look
you're
all
just-
right.
Now you're just peddling to the fans out here.
No,
But-
I
but
actually
you-
think Houston has a chance here.
I
because-
think Houston has a chance.
I mean, it would be like a one-man army with Hanbin, pretty much.
Yeah. What's right?
predicting
I'm not
Houston?
predicting Houston. No, I'm still
I'm
going to go
going
with
with
Paris,
Paris.
But I do think that Houston have
Show
a
me the
decent
freaking
chance
maps.
here.
I
Ooh.
like the
Oasis,
Paris
Havana,
Eternal.
Icon.
Yeah.
What do we do? Havana
with,
without Widow.
yeah, Havana with no Widow, no
I think
McCree
you
as
just
well.
like May
Hanzo,
Hanzo,
right?
some
Maybe you're on
footage
far
from the
above the
Outlaws
spawns and
with-
stuff.
Yeah. The Outlaws, though, Blase did play really well on the Doomfist.
Yeah.
And Dante is just so suited to the Sombra. They could run this the entire time and
Yeah.
and be a genuinely like mid-table team.
And look at Toronto. I mean, their stuff on D, really, it's just, Kariv on the Moira, but they can pretty much run that, right? As
No.
they're running the Ryan.
Yeah,
I
you can
see that, but they can run
yeah.
Winston, right? And play.
Yeah, you can try. I
I mean,
think
with the May, it's probably rough.
I think you find it hard to run May
Reaper
Reaper without the Reinhardt. But maybe you can try and run something with the Rissa
I'm
as
Yeah.
well.
borderline predicting Houston against Paris here.
It's hard, right?
Yeah.
It's hard. Because
Well,
Paris,
it's like FD God. I like him way more. I don't know. I don't like.
Ben Best Winston.
But Blase is just so good.
He is good.
But it's pretty much only him
I don't
and the
think
Dante
so.
show.
I have complete faith in the Paris.
Yeah, I
coaching
like
staff.
Paris here.
Yeah,
I
Paris's
have
coaches, I
complete
think, will
faith.
carry them through.
Yeah,
In
that's-
9K and Rush, I have complete faith.
well, I mean, of course, like I get the coaching argument, but when you have 4 days, they have minimal time to refine your gameplay, and it's more about intuition while you're in game as a
Yeah,
player.
but when I was talking to the Paris coaches, when I was talking to 9K and talked to Gray about his coaching, it's the same kind of coaching as San Francisco, where they don't really teach them specifics. They're trying to really teach these players the fundamental stuff,
yeah.
and like trying to coach the players to get smarter. And so I think that will really benefit them as they go throughout the season.
Yeah,
Whether
but
or
it's
not they've
early.
done enough yet, it
yeah.
is super early.
And then the
Hanbin
next
is so
match
good.
of the day would be the Boston-Washington one. Do we all like Washington there?
You've got to take
yeah.
Washington.
You gotta
Actually,
take
I'm gonna go with
Washington.
Paris because I think Hanbin is going to carry,
Okay.
and they put someone
Yeah.
on Sombra, and I think that's going to be enough.
And then day 2, Paris Eternal versus Philly Fusion. I think Paris is good. I think Philly's gonna go fucking
Yeah.
balls out this weekend. I think they're gonna play sick.
Let's look at the maps.
Yeah, I think
I don't care about the maps of Philly. I know I got Sato on Winston. I look, if this is like something where if we see Tracer day 1, you can wake up a little bit later. That's gonna be a fast 3-0.
No, watch point. Watch point.
No,
Watch it.
You could sleep through that.
No, watch
12 p-
it.
12 p.m. 12
See me
p.m.
do
is
my
early,
job.
bro.
See me make money.
You sleep till
You're a-
11:45.
You're a useless friend,
You
man.
can can catch the last 15 minutes of it. But
what's the maps?
Sato Fury with a
Ilios.
Winston Diva.
Yeah, that's gonna
and
be nuts.
Carpe
The maps.
potentially on like a Tracer.
The maps are Ilios, Junkertown, Blizzard World.
Junkertown's. I don't know what people are going to run. That's
that's
so
good.
weird.
I think you
Bastion.
But also, Sado's
Yeah,
Orisa
maybe.
is good.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think they might default to Bastion because it's hard to
Or
break.
else
isn't
Sigma
it?
Bastion.
New York versus Washington.
I think you have to give this one to New York, even with the advantages of Justice playing at their own homestand. New York should be like the team that dominates in hero pools,
Yeah.
as well as Philly. If New York don't win this, they have a couple of excuses of like, oh, we didn't get enough time to scrim on the meta and stuff. But they have the
They don't
talent.
have that much
It's also
travel.
one
They
of the
catch train.
Yeah.
the odder schedulings that the Justice are not the last match at their homestand because usually
that's
teams throw in
weird.
as like
Oh
the
yeah,
last
that is
game.
strange actually.
That'll end with a Boston Atlanta match.
Well, ain't nobody gonna be watching that.
Yeah, I mean,
Atlanta just
genuinely though,
crushing.
You should watch it though, because then you can see hero pools in the Watch from post show.
Bro, we were at
Yeah.
the Washington home.
Or can you? I don't actually know if you will, but watch the post show.
You can I think you can watch the post show in the arena. But when we were at
Yeah.
Washington homestand, they had DJ Cool. You know DJ Cool?
No.
What was so? I didn't know DJ Cole, but I did know the songs. So
Yeah,
what was
it
the
was
song?
a song that he's famous for.
Fuck,
What is
what
it?
was the song? I can't remember. But I listened to the set and it was good.
The
But
guy was great.
they didn't tell
I'm
people that he was
excited,
playing, so they left.
I'm excited for the Justice homestand. I think they've done a really good job in
Yeah.
terms of like
Yeah.
venue and like
Justice
everything
are
they
really
got.
good.
They're really trying to do just a big
Oh,
push for esports in DC.
All right, play it through the
overall.
mic.
Let
This
me
is
clear
great.
my throat.
DJ Coolman.
This is how
You'll hear it kick in.
yeah.
You need to wait until the
you can
chorus.
see
I think.
we're definitely not totally into monetization here at Plat Chat as we're playing music through the mic. Oh, okay, yeah, yep.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. We
I'd
we
like
don't
to still
play
get
we don't play
monetized.
enough of it. We can still get
I'd
monetized.
like to still
so
get monetized.
Good job.
Maybe
man.
if it's distorted
head-
enough,
Heads
they
up,
won't be able
heads
to-
up play there. By
Pull it up,
Brennon
Jamie.
Hook.
Pull it up, Jamie.
So a lot of us have the same.
The point I was making, though,
predictions.
God, you
Yeah.
just love to jump, don't you? All over the place. Why can't we replace you with Mitch?
Huh?
Mitch was actually good on the desk
I used
hosting,
to, well,
bro.
hey, look. I mean,
All
we
you do is sit there, you're
replaced.
making passive-aggressive comments.
If we
You look like you
replace,
just came out of bed,
if we
bro.
replace, if we replace me, if we replace you with me, and then we would get Mitch in here, oh man, this would be. We'd actually have sponsors by now.
Bro, you wouldn't be saying anything if Mitch was here. He bullied you into submission.
Well,
you was a little bitch.
at least I show up for the episodes. You don't even show up.
Anyway, the point I
You're
was
just
gonna make
drunk
was-
half the time.
That's gonna be brutal though. Like, genuinely though, I don't think anybody's gonna be watching Boston Atlanta in the arena.
Why?
Atlanta, I think you
Do you
need.
remember at the Atlanta event when the Atlanta game was second?
Oh yeah.
Nobody watched it, bro. They cleared out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're a team, put your game at the end.
Yeah. Atlanta Reign, though, they're a difficult team to get a read on. I didn't have any idea about how good they were this week because the first day they came out and they were playing those like Torbjorn anti-dive compositions. They crushed Toronto Defiant. Toronto had just taken Philadelphia Fusion to 5 maps, and Atlanta looked really clean. And then they play the mirror, and they just got kind of pooed on.
I also would love to know. I'm going to start asking some of the players about how they feel about the one match weekend games. Because for Atlanta, if you look, they're the last match on Sunday. So do they have to like be there for all of day Saturday and all day Sunday and wait all the way to the end of the day to play their one game?
I
Like, how
think
does
that-
that work travel wise? Can they fly in on
Oh,
Tuesday?
They,
on
they, can
Atlanta's
fly
Saturday?
in,
good,
Like-
they can fly in and out whenever they like, I think, because when I was talking to people at Washington, once they had finished their match, they could just leave. And
Right,
they
that's
did.
What, yeah, sure. For when we were in New York, Toronto played the first match of the weekend. That was it. And they just
Yeah,
bounced
they
right
just
out.
I think
bounced.
Atlanta's good for it though. They got their portable scrimming unit.
Oh, yeah. Did you hear about this? So where did we hear this?
I put the pieces together in my head.
No. But we heard it from someone.
I deduced it
No, you didn't deduce
I
it.
did.
You're not a
From-
fucking
So what
star
do they-
detective.
from Dogman's Instagram
So what do they
stories.
have?
So they I think they rent out Airbnbs and they
Yeah.
bring like a giant kit of PCs and desks and all of their shit and they ship it everywhere.
So they don't have to rely on the host team to
but
be able to
I don't know
provide
who
you
told
with.
you this.
I mean, that's
I
if
can't
that's
remember.
True, if that's true, good on the Atlanta Reign organization for actually like
Yeah.
giving the players
if it
as
is
close
true-
to home as you can get.
Cox does have fuck you money. Like the
Yeah.
organization that runs the Atlanta
Doesn't mean you have
Reign.
to spend it.
But
But at
they
least
apparently
yeah,
they
at least
do.
They are. Yeah. I mean,
Baby Bay just out here rolling with like 5 Rolexes on each arm.
That's just how it
Dripping.
goes, though.
$1,000 steaks.
how it
Crunking
does.
it with
let's
the
talk about what
ladies.
happened the previous weekend. You know, Overwatch League, the Houston homestand. We covered a lot of the games already, but anything.
Why
like,
did we talk
really
about next
surprise
week
you?
before last week?
Because hero pools.
Hero pools?
Because it's just fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
What were your favorite matches?
I liked London Houston just because it was absolute
No.
chaos.
Yeah.
Oh, they were so
That was
long.
fun. That was fun.
Give me a good car crash of a match.
I felt like Saturday. It's like, you know, a UFC card. They start off with the amateur matches and then they work their way
Yeah.
down. I feel like our Saturday was the opposite way around.
Yeah.
Where they should have just started the day with London, Houston, and then
Dude, I
you
tell you
get
what.
Toronto, Atlanta, and then finally you get New
Honestly,
York.
I'm
Yeah.
becoming a fan of the London Spitfire because all their matches are just absolute chaos. Like, fuck it, they're just throwing blizzards in the divas. They're just popping all their ultimates.
Dude,
in
Shui,
one
man.
shot.
Shui's
Shui,
good,
they
man.
bring Shui in for the last game to just throw.
They put
I-
Klestein in for the last game.
Did
as
I
well.
predict?
that's- yeah,
Did
yeah.
I predict Toronto against Mayhem? Because now I want to change my mind. I've just remembered
Me and
the-
you both picked Toronto. Yeah,
the
yeah, we all
previous-
picked Toronto.
The previous matches that Toronto have played, they got slapped around by Atlanta, and then they failed to beat Houston. I don't know about that. I think they might lose. I think Jake's just rolling in through the front door.
Oh,
Yeah, I
no.
think
Get a
Jake's
guest
here.
appearance. Has he just arrived?
Yeah, and he
dropped
can't
his
even
keys
open
on
the
the
His
door.
keys now.
I think it's unlocked. Isn't it?
Should we all
No,
shout?
It's
some-
unlocked,
He
Jake.
tried.
You
He
come
tried.
in.
He tried. It's
Let's
not
provide some commentary.
It's not unlocked. But
Who
Jake's
is
here.
it? Who is
Yeah.
it?
It's
Our
Jake. He's just flown back
First
from
special guest from Houston.
from
Oh, he's just
Houston.
got in?
Oh,
Yeah, he's just
here he
flown
is.
in.
Yeah.
He's just flown in, huh?
Here he is.
Oh,
there he is.
Guy rolls-
Mr.
Guy rolls-
Worldwide, bro.
Guy rolls in
Mr.
like
Worldwide. Look at him.
$1 million
This
bucks,
paparazzi,
dude. Look
bro.
at him.
Look at this dude.
Oh no.
He's on the phone. He's got
He's
the
on the phone with the
shades.
shades
He just hopped down
my
the Bentley
goodness.
coupe. He's on the phone with his agent.
That's great.
Mr. Worldwide, dude. Mr. Worldwide.
He's out here traveling.
Mr. Worldwide, dude.
He's getting those first class flights. Collecting those miles, bro.
Oh, that's so
Collecting
good.
miles.
Me and Brennon are driving caravans to events.
Yeah, you can drive
no,
me.
actually,
What the hell were we
Tavik's
talking
been
about?
driving me. Tavik's been
Last
driving
week in
Driving
Overwatch. Bro, you reckon Tavic's getting his pilot license?
Oh God.
Johnny's like, I won't talk about my Swedish buddy.
The
I
only
missed
match
it.
that was memorable for me
Yeah, here
was
we go.
wild.
Here we
is
go.
the last one. The only match I can really remember, maybe this is because I am...
It's because you drank all the other ones away.
my brain is just broken. But the only one that was really memorable was Toronto versus Houston because Houston finally got their first one.
Nah,
The other ones
Florida.
have kind of like faded out of existence. I don't know if
This
they
is
ever
what happens though
existed.
when you
No,
watch
Paris,
7 matches in one weekend.
Paris,
Everything just blurs
Paris
together.
Atlanta was really
Yeah,
good to
that
see
one
like
was
how
good.
good Paris was.
Yeah, because that was Atlanta previously. On the previous day when they played Toronto, we're just playing like
They dumpstered.
they did. They absolutely dumpstered Toronto, just playing like really tight double main tank, and then the Torbjorn was coming out, and then they got bullied by Paris in the mirror matchup with the May McCree. Atlanta just their tank line got pushed in.
Yeah.
The Paris tank line was doing so well.
Yeah, Paris
Atlanta
Eternal, they
should
just
be
went
better than
all
this.
in.
But,
They were so aggro. I love to see Paris Eternal just perform like that.
I think
They were so
though,
good.
Yeah, it was.
I think though, I mean, look, the first few weeks have been nice, but I think this is just a completely different season from here on out. Like
Yeah.
I almost feel like you can't even like you can hold stock in like how some of the teams looked, I think.
Yeah.
But really now it's about having the right coaches and the talent of just the depth and talent of players to make it through hero pools. Where, you know, the first few weeks, you shouldn't have lost a bunch of games. You could have used that as a buffer for later in the season.
Yeah.
Like, where
Yeah.
if you have a bad week in terms of a hero pool, then you can still
Yeah,
make it out
specific
alive.
teams. You should have won before you were pulled specific teams. Why didn't you?
Yeah, Pacific teams though. I mean, it's given them a bunch of time to prep, but they don't know what they're prepping
Right.
for. So it doesn't make any difference at the end of the day. They just missed out on an opportunity
now-
to be good at May
We
McCree.
can take a look
Gesture's
at our.
chilling, though.
we can take- that's great. That gesture's chilling.
He's in L.A.
I
Is he?
did.
Yep.
Yep. If
Why?
You follow Danny on
I think
Instagram.
they're all in L.A.
Oh right.
Yeah, they're back in LA.
Oh,
Ah,
nice.
We can take a look at our power rankings.
Oh,
the Plat
God.
Chat power rankings. Before we get after
Wait.
power rankings, we actually get to our first sponsored segment ever.
Oh,
Which
so
we'll
So we're not
unveil.
doing... Wait,
What you want to do the sponsored segment
No,
first?
no. We're doing the
Oh,
power rankings
What's
first.
the
We're going
power
to end with our
rankings?
first ever sponsor segment.
Wait,
That's how we'll
when
end
do
the
we
show.
decide on these?
No, we haven't done them yet.
We
That's
haven't
the
done them
point.
yet. That's
We've got to
we
construct
are
them now.
going to do power rankings. This is how. That's how we're going to do power rankings. I'm gonna pull them out of a wheel. Yeah.
All right, well, let's
right.
pull it up,
Okay.
baby. Okay.
I-
This is alphabetical order at the moment.
Yes. Currently, okay.
This
would
is a
I be
beautiful tool.
Would I?
All right, get Boston down to the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get Boston
Yeah,
at the bottom
yeah, put
because
them down there.
Houston used to live down there, and now
It's Boston.
Well, I think Houston may be next door neighbors still.
But what about Toronto?
Toronto? Yeah,
See-
Toronto. Come on, man.
I don't know. Toronto's so hard to place.
Put Toronto
because-
between Houston and Boston.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Do
Yeah.
you though?
I think I do.
The thing that I keep having to like get straight in my head is Toronto took Fusion to 5 and they looked kind of good there, but I think Fusion just got knocked off because they weren't expecting
Yes.
Yeah.
the
I
dive.
weren't prepared for it.
Who would you? I think my top 4 right now are Shock, Titans, Fusion, and
Fusion above
YXL.
Titans.
Why is the Shock number 1? I don't get. I feel like you can't
Off of
rank this
roster.
Because you can't
off
find
of
an
the-
argument why they shouldn't be.
Yeah,
It's
why,
just
what's
like-
the argument that they shouldn't be?
because Fusion have a roster that's as good. They're 5-0, and they look sick in hero
I'm okay.
pools.
Look, I said that's my top 4. I'm totally
Oh, sure.
okay with the Fusion being number 1.
I think
like,
you should because the San
You
Francisco.
think?
Because
I don't think it's.
I think
mean,
if there's one team, I kind of mentioned this a little bit on the show yesterday. If there's one team that has a roster that can go toe to toe with the Shocks, like player for player, like Philly's as close as you can get.
Yeah, I think it is. Like I
think Philly is
that doesn't feel right.
It doesn't.
bro.
It doesn't feel right,
Okay,
and I
alright.
think that Philly hasn't really beaten great teams besides
No.
New York.
York.
Besides
Shock-
New York.
Shock beat
Let me
Dallas.
finish.
Oh
Let
my
me finish. I said
God.
besides New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why
my
do they need to
God.
beat more than one previously thought of as top 5
They went to
team?
5 maps with Toronto Defiance.
All right, why don't we do-
Shock lost a map to Dallas.
Yeah, but Dallas played up to them.
I think
just
you
think
can
you're
do,
taking things
I
out
think
in
you can do
advance, and it's
Shock
too
Fusion,
extreme.
Shock Fusion 1 and 2, it's a coin flip. I would say 3 for me is still New York.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I
I
think
would-
New
You
York
think
get
Titans
bumped
are
down.
better than
Yeah, New York Titans.
Yeah.
Titans.
Okay, so we can go
Titans
Titans.
third.
Titans 3, New York 4.
Yeah.
Who goes to 5?
Bro,
Does
I
Paris
would say,
go 5?
bro, I'd say Paris is above New York.
Nah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay,
actually
that's-
would at the
What?
moment.
Well,
At the moment, I would.
I
yeah.
think Paris are above New
You
York.
think right now
No.
if they
So
played,
this
that
meta
Paris
is
would
behind
beat-
us. This meta is behind us.
Yeah.
You can't keep thinking May McCree all the time.
But these power rankings are what we've seen so far. They're not like us predicting next week. Right?
I
no,
would
but
say,
it is
yeah.
what teams you think are the strongest going into next week.
Yes.
And I think New York
think
is
New York
stronger
is
than
better
Paris
than
going into
Paris.
next
yeah,
week.
yeah, I
You
agree
think
with
so?
that. I think going into
Yes.
next week because Paris still have question marks about how they're going to adapt with Ben
Yeah.
Best.
I
on
would
the
put
Rhine.
Paris right underneath New York.
Look,
though.
New York,
Okay.
New York with Libero and Nene looked a lot different from Who Are
Yeah.
You and May.
Yes.
You've all sold me.
I think if New York play Paris last week, Paris win. If New York play Paris next week, I think New York
wins.
probably
Yes.
You've all
So-
sold me. I give you permission.
So we can put New York above Paris.
I
Swap
do
those.
really think, though, that the San Francisco Shock at number 1, there is no good argument for them being at number 1
I'm
other
not-
than
look,
they won last year.
But we don't know.
No,
it's
they're
been
impossible
so
to
long.
rank. They're impossible to rank.
It's the same with
Who
Titans.
comes
Same with
after
Gladiators.
Paris?
Oh, so throw
Well-
Shock down in the dumps with Shanghai Soul because they haven't played enough. We can just say that they haven't played enough.
But they have
Ooh.
played.
They
we
have played
have
one.
seen them.
Now, do you know what? I'm happy with them being at number 1 as long as we have the caveat that it's a very...
It is like a tie for 1.
But
It's
here's
like a
the fucking
tentative
thing,
place.
though, Josh. The plebeians are gonna take a picture of that when
Yeah,
it's finished
yeah.
and post it saying Plat Chat's Power Rankings, and all the comments are gonna be like, "Why are Shock number 1 still?"
Yeah.
You know, like
So are you worried about combating those people?
I lose sleep at night thinking of Reddit. Matt, I lose sleep.
That's horrible.
If I don't get a thread posted about me every day,
You've sold me. Put Philly at 1. It generates more votes.
oh, that's a good idea,
There we
actually.
go.
Okay, fine.
Who's
Well,
after Atlanta?
Philly
Can I-
number 1 though.
can
I still think we're high.
They're
Like,
5-0.
No, they're 5-0.
They're 5-0,
Dude, their
like,
roster's
come on.
nuts.
Yeah, they're
Their
doing
roster's-
Okay,
Well-
so what teams have they beaten? They've beaten New York. They've beaten.
But there's something to be said about just beating the crap out of teams you're supposed to beat the crap out of.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
the point I'm trying to
Like-
make.
Yeah. See, here's a bigger question for me is where the hell do you put the Gladiators? They've only played
Yeah.
one match.
Yeah.
Like the Shock, it was a loss, but it was a 5-map loss to the Titans,
Right.
who everybody's putting pretty high.
I think they look good. I think you put them like.
Are they
fifth,
after
sixth, maybe.
Atlanta?
Under Atlanta, above Atlanta?
This is so hard. I almost want to just take out all the teams we haven't
I mean,
seen.
theoretically, I want to think they are better than Paris, but I don't think that's.
I
fair.
don't think that's
I
true.
don't think
No.
they're better than Paris.
Is London better
that's a
than
good place for it.
Florida
I think-
and Dallas?
I think below Atlanta is a good place.
Yeah, I think
No,
below
yeah,
Atlanta for
yeah,
now.
that-
For
that's
now,
better.
we can
is
revisit it.
London better than Florida and Dallas?
Yes.
Are the
I think
Valiants
so,
better
yes.
than London?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think
Yeah,
it's a
I would say
stretch.
Australia better than Glad.
No, they are.
You think Valiant are better than Gladiators?
Actually,
Yes.
Valiant were good in this past meta.
But who knows?
Can I remind you all that
No, I
Gladiators have a
think Gladiators are better than Valiant.
Gladiators have Mirror and Jaru. Mirror, Jaru, and Birdring are their DPS on
But
the
they played
Gladiators.
And they have
well.
space like.
They did play pretty well. Yeah, I'm happy to give Gladiators a benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
But it's the
Okay.
same as the Shock. We're just giving them the
Like,
benefit
I
of the
almost
doubt.
feel good about the power rankings that are there right now for the top half.
I mean,
in that
London,
order.
London is a big question mark to me because on one hand they've had some weird matches this season, but at the same time they have Glister and they have Bernard and they've looked really good. I don't know how to feel going into the next meta because Shui hasn't been convincing on really any hero at all.
Really?
So I don't know. No, I don't.
I thought his
good.
Genji was pretty good when he pulled that out.
Excuse me?
Yeah,
Did
it's
you
pretty
watch
good.
that?
Yeah, his Genji fucking pounded actually.
No, it actually did. I don't think that was the greatest Genji play I've ever seen. That
Why-
looked like
why not?
Brenji.
I mean,
He had one good blade.
he had one blade.
No, he had 2 blades.
Did he? What happened to the previous one? I remember watching
The
it and
second
thinking,
one,
actually...
the second one he pulled out and swung it on an ice block, and then he dashed at no one, and then he
Oh
died.
yeah. Well, frankly, I don't think you should be playing Genji.
It was
anyway.
like it was like 1 minute of Genji.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
regardless of that.
But Shui has shown that he can
So
play.
I'm kind of
stuff
okay
in the
with
past.
those rankings.
I think
You
Dallas is too high.
Too high.
Okay, Dallas is below
Dallas
Florida.
below Florida.
I think Dallas
Are they below
below.
Washington.
No.
Well, okay. Let's think about how they would play this week, right? Like think about Dallas in hero pools.
The thing is, I actually look at this Dallas roster and I kind of like it because I think Decay is really good.
The Decay
I
is
have,
very good.
I have question marks about Doha because so far it's only shown us like Doomfist and Sombra and not a lot more. I want to see more from him.
Yeah.
I think Gamsu and Note, not the best, but they're still stable, and I think that should
Yeah.
account for something.
Okay.
Crimso, I think, is good, but
Yeah.
I would like to
Above
put.
Florida?
I don't think so. I would
No.
like to put Dallas underneath because
They under Washington.
I.
I don't feel good about Florida at all, actually.
No. Shove Washington down one more. There you go.
I don't know. I also think that the Houston Outlaws are in a better position this week than
Then even maybe the Justice.
yeah, but the Justice have the benefit of the homestand right
Right.
at the moment. So yeah, I feel like
I
putting
think a
the
lot of those teams down there are so close.
putting the Outlaws any higher is just feels wrong.
Well, I mean, I almost want to put Washington over Dallas, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like this happens time and time again that I look at the Dallas roster and I'm like, I get excited about it, but at the same time, we haven't. You can't get excited about Dallas until they actually start
winning
showing
games,
stuff.
man.
Washington has actually looked good at times throughout this season, and I know they had a few weird losses, and I know I went ham on them, but they have actually shown us teamwork
Yeah.
that is respectable.
I agree with that.
But they just haven't been able to convert
Right.
that into wins, especially considering they had the flu and were sick, etc.
So this is it.
I
Okay,
actually
that's it.
seen
What-
Washington perform well.
Yes.
What about
Unlike Dallas, I
I
haven't
can
seen
see
enough
Washington getting there as
Yeah.
a team. I struggle to find that
Yeah.
some other spots.
Yep, I feel all right about that. That's
Okay.
a
So-
decent power rankings.
So now I think that we have our power rankings. Then we can announce that we have a sponsored segment here.
Oh, yeah.
It is
Yep.
sponsored by Bren.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
It
What
is.
is it?
Bren's Player of the
Bren's
Week.
Player of the
Do you want to do a
Week. It is,
jingle for it?
Sponsored. Yeah,
It is
sure.
our
We can play
first,
it. We can intro it. Wait.
It's our first sponsored segment ever here on Plat Chat.
It's Bren's Player of the Week.
Sponsored by Bren.
Sponsored by Bren. You can also sponsor it if you want.
Pay us money.
But
What
for
a
now,
wonderful
it's
jingle.
sponsored by Bren. How does Bren's Player of the Week get selected? What stats do you use?
I go through social media and I look at just the amount of clout that's being generated.
I'm going to upset our whole stats department now.
Week by week basis.
This morning I said to Brent, I was like, "Oh well, are you going to have any stats?" And he goes, "Where do I find stats?" Where we literally promoted a whole sponsored stat tool for the.
I ain't never seen
You
them.
actually may have read a
Yeah.
sponsorship
We
thing for
actually
it on the
had-
Overwatch League.
I've never seen
We
any
had it up.
numbers.
We literally had it up on the screen.
tool up.
I've never seen them before. All I'm saying is
Well-
I've never seen those numbers.
Well, so Bren's Player of the Week, sponsored by Bren.
If I get to pick a
Look,
player,
there's the stats.
Yeah, that is the stats tool presented by Sedate Farm.
I think your player of the week is on here, actually.
My player of the week is Funny Astro.
All right.
Okay.
First ever Bren
First
Player
ever
of the
Bren
Week.
Player of the Week.
Okay.
Congrats,
Because
Funny Astro.
number one, UK Mafia 2020. Okay, the boy has got to be representing. a
Oh
little
my god!
bit.
And you guys give me shit for always talking about Swedish players.
I know.
Like seriously,
I can already
reconsider
tell
your
that this
beliefs,
is gonna
because
be one of the
amount
more
of times I've just heard like, oh, the UK
prestigious
boys,
things
you
to
know,
win.
there were rumors around like, oh, Philly, you know, they go for an all UK lineup. Like, get your head out of your ass. Like the amount of fucking times I hear you guys talk about the UK boys,
UK
and then you
Mafia.
give me shit. Okay, it's completely fine. Okay, you can talk about all the UK boys. They're hilarious. I love them.
you
Sick
tell-
banter, whatever. But you cannot complain about me talking about
I've
Sweden.
never complained. I actually,
I've
I like-
watched the companion streams. I've watched, and you
complain.
guys give
I
me
like your players.
And then you,
I like your players. I like your players.
I like your players.
look,
Johnny.
we're both pursuing success, so let's both cherish each
I
other's
like your
opinions.
players. I like Nevix and Sharp.
Yeah.
I like your boys.
Is it
They-
only Nevix and Sharp? Oh,
Elevote.
Elevote.
They're good stock.
Yeah,
They're
so,
good boys.
So talk about Funny Astro. This is
He,
his moment.
he has come out with an absolute slanger of a tweet. And oh my
Slanger.
goodness. Yeah.
Slanger.
This is what we want to see on a regular
You
basis.
don't need
I don't know if
performance
we've got
to
it.
be the player of the
Look
week.
at this boy. We flew 4 hours for this?
Yeah.
I mean, I had to hit that with the retweet. I had to hit it with the GIF at
That's
the
what
bottom,
you
as you
do.
can see. I couldn't believe what I was witnessing.
It's a sign of a
But
competitor kicking
it's
the
not-
other ones while they're down.
It's not just the trash talk, bro. His gameplay is pretty good. You know,
Yeah.
he gets the environmental kills.
He's
He
been
plays a very aggressive style. He's mechanically quite skilled on
Is
the
it
hero.
4 hours really on plane from Houston to Philly?
I guess it is, yeah.
I mean, I
Oh,
don't
they
know.
may be taking
But-
a connecting plane or
but-
something. You gotta get that changed.
I mean, this guy is my player of the week.
He's been very good. He's been very good.
Any doubts?
Yes, my doubts. In terms of main supports, FD God was better. FD God was better than Funny
It's
Astro
not about
this week.
being better.
I mean, there's-
Yeah,
It's
but-
there's
not
a
about
lot
you
of
don't
cra-
understand
a lot
Brent's
of
criteria.
Other
Bren-
criteria that could
But-
have went into this, like play.
I would have picked Shui.
He's French.
You would have picked Shui.
I just love Shui.
Sweet.
You just
I
told
love
me that
Shui.
Shui had a garbage Genji.
Yeah, but I don't pick him because he's good.
He has a
I
bit
just
of
love
Renji
Shui.
in him.
I love
actually
Shui.
thought Hanbin had a sick week.
I think
Yeah.
I love Shui.
I like seeing Klestein, but he's not my player of the
You
week.
don't pronounce it
Funny Astro.
Klestein, do you?
Klestein.
Klestin, Klestein. I
Klestein.
actually don't know.
Yeah,
Klestin.
we don't know.
So you've we've
My
all
player of the
named
week.
we've all named players, and Bren has almost agreed that they should have been player of the week.
No,
but
because
he's still
it's
going
not
to
just
award it to
listen.
Funny Astro.
It's not just gameplay that gets
Yeah.
you this.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
It's sponsored
I
by
might-
you.
So
It can be
Shui.
whatever you
I
want.
might award it to a player that loses. Okay. I had half a mind to give it to Chipsa.
Oh my god. You're going to give it to Fusions next week.
But this week it was definitely Funny Astro.
Okay.
Yeah.
He came out with one of the best tweets I've seen in a long time, and he is a consistently good player, and he's a good crack to hang out with in a hot tub. Like there's not many more qualities you want in a player.
Okay,
that is
yeah, superb.
Bren's player of the week. Brought
We're gonna
to
get
you-
some graphics and transitions for that.
brought
as well.
to you by Bren.
Wonderful.
What a wonderful segment to wrap up this
Thank
week's
you.
show on.
No problem.
I thought this week was a success. We did a great job. We actually all got here in
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
I thought the topics were really good.
Oh my lord! Yeah.
This was our reaction to you, Matt.
What
This
do you
was
mean?
when you picked Widowmaker and McCree, you fucking idiot.
Oh, that's some nice belly hair, though.
Yeah, I was
Thank
gonna
you.
say you letting the belly hang. A TOS there. A
That
little bit.
Roadhog cosplay, bro. Look at that.
Roadhog
Get a little bit of
cosplay.
belly going out. That's rotund. Look at you.
Yeah, dude.
God.
Oh my
Women of-
lord!
women of
dude.
San Antonio.
Yeah, nobody's worried about
What-
how you're eating.
what
you're
what-
eating good?
What do you have to say for yourself?
Huh?
What do you have to say for yourself for ruining this week?
Look, I'm sorry, guys. I'm a fan. Look, if it was up to me, Overwatch would be 5 DPS and 1 support. And
Can we get a new host? Where's Mitch?
We'd kill
Where's Mitch?
all tanks.
Find
would
Mitch.
Get them out.
Oh, God.
Everybody would be hit scan.
Bro, we've been
everybody
playing-
would have
we've-
sniper rifles.
What you've just described as Project Day. You just described
No.
Valorant.
no.
No,
I
Project Day is 5v5.
But now-
But
But now that it hurts me that May is still in. It hurts me that McCree and Widow are gone.
Don't
I
worry.
apologize.
We'll do it next
But-
week.
All right. Also, Matt,
I'll pick again though,
Bro,
and I'll do better.
we ain't sponsored by Starbucks, so get
Yeah.
that
Sorry,
shit
sorry,
out of there,
sorry.
bro.
Yeah, they'll
I
never
ain't giving
know
any
this
free
is
advertising out.
They'll never know. But
This could be you on this cup,
yep.
but I cannot show this cup. It is
be
green
you on this
and
cup.
black, but I cannot show you the logo.
Or you
But it
could
could be
get
your cup.
Bren's sponsored
pay us.
player of the week.
Pay us.
Which
You could sponsor that segment.
You can sponsor
Right.
my forehead if you want for the entire show.
I mean, we could
Yep.
put 2 sponsors on your forehead. I mean,
Yeah.
why sell one spot? Why sell 2 or 3, right? Yeah. All right, but thanks for tuning in this week, guys. We'll be back with another episode next
don't-
Why does your
Tuesday.
Matt? Why does
What?
your hair look like you've been through a tumble dryer?
Because maybe I have.
Can we?
Mitch put him through the
I was in the
tombola at
hero
end of
selection.
Watch
Yeah.
Point.
After I didn't pick May, we were contemplating
can we
whether
talk
I was
about-
staying on or not.
Can we
It
talk
looks like you cut Hugo's hair and taped it on your head.
Hugo's hair is a little darker than mine.
Oh,
Oh,
there he is.
that's beautiful.
That's
That's
something
beautiful.
else.
What's up, guys?
Can we talk about Australian contenders?
No.
No.